we're installing our side windows in our Giulietta Spider today, and there's a little trick that we'd like to share with you. There's a thick horsehair material that they use for the felting to sit between the window and the actual framing, and it's very difficult to get that to slide down in this framing, especially if you've had to repair this like we have due to rust and corrosion. There wasn't anything left. So what we've done is we've taken an ordinary black trash bag and we've wrapped it around the window, and we've glued our felt to the window lightly beforehand, and then we've inserted a drilled piece of tubing and we've stuck that in the end of our vacuum hose, and that'll suck down and create a vacuum in that bag and compress this horsehair nicely, and then we'll be able to slide the window in and glue it in place. Now this wouldn't work if we didn't have this in a vacuum, because this would be so expanded it wouldn't fit. It would be too wide. So once we take it out of vacuum, it will expand and compress the window. Now that we have our window installed, we can disconnect our vacuum line and cut open the bag, and we'll be ready to install the window in the car. You can see here with our tube, we've got all our holes drilled in it, and that's how it's actually creating that suction inside the bag, especially with a tight seal around the end. And there's our window. here's our next tech tip. Today, we've realized we've got some parts that missed going to the CAD coders. Now, it would be really hard to send just a small amount of product off to them since they normally charge a minimum batch fee. So what we have here for shop use is an in-house solution that actually performs the same process. So it just does it in smaller batches. As you can see, you can only fit what you can fit in the container here. So I've got my parts attached to a wire, which get attached to the battery tray here, and we have our electrode where our solution goes. So what we'll do is we'll pour the solution into the container with our activated solution. We then drop our hardware in, and then once the batteries are in, and then we let it sit for about 3 minutes or so. And then when we pull it out, they'll be SilverCAD coated. Now before you do this, you want to make sure you clean it with wax and grease remover so everything's nice and clean. We've also blasted them so there's no rust or grease left on the bolts. We'll show you what they look like in just a second. Here's our finished product. We'll go ahead and rinse that off with water, and we'll have our CAD coated parts.